Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 10 of the 21-day series. Rashida here, you guys might remember. Hope you guys have had a really fantastic last couple of days and you're still sticking on and enjoying it. It's great to see a lot of returnees, and it's great that we're building this rapport as well on WhatsApp, getting to know you guys more on a one-on-one basis. It's really quite amazing. So don't worry, this journey I don't think will end just with 21 days. You never know, we'll have ways to stay in touch, so don't despair. But it's amazing. We're already in week 2 or part 2 of the series. So before I begin in doing a recap, I just want to welcome if any newbies that have joined here for the first time ever. Welcome to Sahaja Yoga meditation. If this is your first time, you've never done Sahaja Yoga before, or the self-realization, what I would suggest is, if it's possible, can you please put your mobile number in the chat box, and we would love to get in contact with you on WhatsApp to help you get to know how to get started with Sahaja Yoga meditation. So just to recap, this is a call out for anyone who is new. This is your first time to Sahaja Yoga. We would like your number in the chat box so that one of our leads, Vaibhav, will get in contact with you to explain what's the best way basically to get started, given though we're already in day 10 of this series. So as we guys know, with this series, what we do is we are progressing along. We are teaching you now new things. Just to recap, I think we've got a Gavin there. Welcome, Gavin. It's good to see you join us. So you are welcome to stay back, Gavin, if you like. You might feel maybe a little bit lost in times just because we have progressed. But there's no harm in saying that you can still stay back, and Vaibhav, I believe, will contact you in due course on how you can basically brush up from the beginning and get to speed. We do have our website as well, freemeditation.com.au/21 days. Everything is stored there right from day 1 till now. And as you guys know, you can always go back to rewatch videos, and they're divided into chapters. That way you can speed through to see, which part you would like to rewatch again. So just to recap, guys, you've had an intense week 1. We have learned the self-realization process, which is step 1 of Sahaja Yoga. It's unique to this meditation. We then learned about raising our Kundalini and putting on a bandhan, which is a little exercise before the start and the end of every meditation. And then we learned about our left-right clearing. So we know whether you're someone that tends to delve in the past more, or you someone that's more futuristic, things like that. And you've also learned some techniques. You've learned the foot soak, which I think we all loved. We learned the ice pack technique, and we also learned the candle technique. So you guys have learned a lot, and you're doing so well to remember it all and imbibe it all. And towards the end of the session, we will run through, how do you incorporate these new techniques into your daily meditations. But to kick off, so this week we are starting off with our chakra series. So now we're moving on to learn, what are you feeling on your fingertips, and the reasons for that, and how they're correlated with your chakras within you. You guys might recall we always see on the subtle system chart. So today we're starting off with the first chakra, the base chakra called the Muladhara. We have Debbie here from Brisbane who's going to present this for us. And like I said, every day you're going to be learning about a new chakra each, and we're building on that knowledge. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to hand it over to Debbie. Enjoy the session. Absorb as much as you can. If you've got a paper and pen, you can take notes. But as you know, we will always give you the resources and materials, and I will see you guys towards the end. Enjoy.
Okay. Hi there, everyone. Lovely to have you back tonight. If you were with us last night, we did some techniques, as Rachita said, and tonight we're moving on to learn about the first energy center, which is Molodera center. So we'll get started. We've got some information that we'd like to share with you to help give you a bit of knowledge and understanding of the Muladhara chakra. So we'll start with our first slide. And basically that is, so welcome. to a night on the Muladara Chakra as part of our 21 days of meditation. And the meaning of Muladara is that Mul means the root and Adara is the support. So basically what it means is that the Muladara is the root, it's the support of this subtle system that we have within us. And this supports the whole of that subtle system. And it sits actually below the Kundalini energy, and it's the support for that Kundalini energy there. And as you can see in that diagram that we have in front of us, that it's, as I said, it's below the Kundalini, below the sacrum bone. So it's at the base of the spine, is the location. We also will feel it on the base of the palm of the hand. And as you can see from my hand and also from a diagram, this is where we'll feel it as well on both hands, be it either the left or the right. And also we have it at the back of the head. And when we went through the realization process, we put our hand at the back of the head, leant our hand into the palm of our hand, and that's where we just asked to be forgiven for any mistakes that we've made. So that was working on that back Molodera chakra. So this is of help. So as you become aware of these centers and you start to feel them on the palms of your hands, it will help you to diagnose any problems that you may be experiencing, so that you can then clear this center. After, we're going to look at the qualities as well, or the characteristics of the Muladhara chakra. And so the basics things that we share, that we've got to share with you, are that it has 4 petals. And the element here is earth. And as you've seen last week and on the weekend, we use different elements to help clear each of these centers. So the foot soak and the candling will help anyway with the Muladhara chakra, but actually sitting on the earth is an excellent way to clear that. And afterwards, we've gone through this, we'll do a little bit of a meditation where we'll use the earth to help clear and also to help strengthen our Muladhara chakra. So the color, each of the chakras have their own color. So the color for this one is coral red. And the physical plexus is the pelvic plexus. And as I've just said, it's on the base of the palm of the hand, is one of the areas that you will feel this chakra. So next part that we are going to look at to help you understand this Muladhara chakra is the qualities. So each of the centers have different qualities. So balance, and that is being at the base of us and supporting that subtle system. It brings us into balance. And if we're balanced within us, we feel the qualities of innocence, purity, and wisdom will really manifest within us. And when we talk about that, it's not just how we behave, but it's also, I guess, within our thoughts, that we have this purity and innocence and wisdom within our thoughts, within our attitude. And when we're being positive like that, when we have such purity, our thoughts are very positive. And through that positivity, we feel joy. So this Muladhara chakra, when balanced, it brings out all of these qualities, and therefore it enriches every aspect of our life. The next part that we can look at within our Muladhara chakra and is the what are the benefits that we get from having a clear and strong Muladhara. We have a strong attention, and we'll notice this when we continue to work on this center and to strengthen it. and that these qualities naturally just start to manifest within us. And our intention is really important to help us with deepening our meditation. And it's also through that deepening of the meditation that's going to help our spiritual growth. And so they all work together to help us experience ourselves and getting to know ourselves from inside. We have a picture of what we look like, of what we think we are like, but through really that spiritual growth and that strong attention, we really get to know ourselves from the inside. And as you'll learn this week, as I've said already, each of the chakras have different qualities, and we have other qualities which you'll learn about this week, such as like the joy and feeling satisfaction within us. And that strong attention will help us to really focus on each of our centers to improve our meditation. The other things that we have, the other benefits from doing this, from knowing this Muladhara, from having it cleared, is that it keeps us emotionally balanced. We have days where we feel upset, things happen to us on a day-to-day basis. And so therefore we become, emotional. We have those feelings within us. And also then through that emotional imbalance, it can affect us on a mental side as well. And that's vice versa. Sometimes mentally we feel overwhelmed by things, and then we show that by being upset. So by being balanced, it helps to keep both of these things within us centered, and we can grow in our emotional intelligence. We can handle things better, and we can be much more positive about things that do arise, and being able to keep on top of things without feeling stressed and anxious by them. Also, another benefit of our Muladhara being in balance is that it helps us from feeling depressed and being lethargic. And I guess, and that connects again with that emotional balance and the mental balance. And as we probably know, when those two things go out, as I said, our feelings tend to go into feeling that the world's against us and things are against us. And when we're feeling that way, we tend to not have the energy to take actions. So by being able to be balanced, we can then take actions to overcome that lethargy. And once we start to take those actions, we then feel positive about things around us. And so that feeling of being of depression and that it's overwhelming, it ceases to be. You know, it just mentally we get on top of things. And this is my favorite part too, that it soothes our attention. So within us, we can feel very calm, very relaxed, and that, as I just said, we're able to manage things that pop up into our lives because we're emotionally and mentally in a balanced state of being. So they are the benefits and the qualities that we get from our Muladhara being in balance. So we'll, and I've sort of touched on some of this in the previous slides that we've gone through, and that is how to balance our Muladhara chakra. And we, sitting on the Mother Earth, which I said earlier, is fantastic for really clearing this chakra. So just going outside, sitting on the earth, taking in the fresh air. Again, you're taking some sort of action to help bring it into balance. So that's naturally going to make us feel really good as well. And when we sit on the Mother Earth, we can just put our right hand towards the earth, or actually if we're sitting on the earth, we can put our right hand on the earth. And in a few moments, we'll go through that technique. I'll show you that. Our daily foot soaks help us, which we've been doing last week. Helps to clear this center. And of course, our regular meditation, because then we're allowing this Kundalini energy. It's the one that really does all the work. When we're doing the foot soak and the sitting on the earth, we are taking the action, and it does help. But this Mother Kundalini within us, really, it helps to move things along. And through the depth of that meditation, we're touching on those qualities. And those qualities really start to manifest within us. So that's why you'll hear us saying it's really good to meditate morning and evening. And it's not just with the Muladhara, it's for all of the energy centers within us that this Kundalini works through. It rises up and then it just clears the chakras, and it helps to bring everything into a lovely, lovely balance for us. So what we'll do next is we'll actually go through and we'll put ourselves into bandhan, which is what we do at the start of every meditation. And we put on a bandhan as well. So that's, as you probably are well practiced by now, is that the left hand just stays still, coming up to above the top of the head, with the right hand winding around and then tying a knot there. So let's just do that together. So raising our attention from this Muladhara chakra and just bringing it up so that our attention comes within us, and one knot, and then again a second time. And we're going to do 2 knots, and a third time. And just really bringing that attention up there. Bringing our hands back down onto our lap, palm upwards onto our lap, and we're going to put on a bandhan. So again, with our attention, know that our attention is up here. We're going to keep that attention there, but just bring those energy around us as a protection. And that's that twice. And remember, we do this 7 times. So that's 3rd, the 4th time, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And now we're just going to sit quietly for a few moments and just let that, we'll do a little bit of clearing as well before we go into a silent meditation. So as I said, using the Mother Earth is really good for helping to clear this Muladhara chakra, and also for strengthening it. So my right hand is out, my right hand is pointing down towards the earth. The fingers are pointing towards the earth. Or if you are sitting on the floor at home at the moment, you can just place the palm of your right hand flat onto the floor, and your left hand is out in front of you. And here we can just use some affirmations. Maybe even before we do the affirmations, just take a few nice deep breaths. Breathing in. And we'll breathe out nice and slowly. And another nice deep breath. And even just to hold it for a second. And to breathe out slowly. And one more breath. Nice, easy, and slowly. And hold it. And then just breathing out. Fabulous. Very nice. Okay. So now that we've gone through the technical aspects of the Muladhara chakra, and you now have some information that helps you to understand this energy center within us and its qualities, let's clear that Muladhara center. So left hand out, right hand pointing towards the earth or flat on the earth. And here within yourself, you can just ask Mother Earth, please clear my Muladhara chakra. Please remove all the negativity from my Muladhara chakra. And just say that to yourself a few times within yourself. And also, let's now, while we're still with the right hand towards the earth or on the earth, let's strengthen our Muladhara chakra by asking Mother Kundalini, please establish within me my innocence, wisdom, and purity. Please let these qualities manifest within me. And just let this silence, let it just soothe our attention. Let it soothe down our subtle system. And just enjoy that state of silence for a few moments. If you're finding that thoughts are coming, just let them go. If you feel more comfortable bringing that right hand back up onto your lap, you can do that as well. But just allow that silence to really settle within you. It's okay to not think. Okay. When you're ready, you can just very slowly open your eyes and just see how you're feeling now to when you first came on. Feeling more settled, more balanced. Maybe you're feeling a little bit emotional, and you might find that now that all of that has subsided. So enjoy that. We are going to watch talk by Shri Mataji of about the Muladhara Chakra. And Shri Mataji has a wonderful way of explaining these things on a much more subtle level. So just relax, try and keep the attention up here on top of the head as we play the talk. And then after that, we'll have some another meditation with music. So I hope that this evening that has helped you to understand the Muladhara Chakra. And of course, all of the information will be up on the resource page for you to go back and to look at in your own time and to reread, because it's always good to have another look at things afterwards. So let's now go to the talk by Shri Mataji, and followed by music and meditation.
But as Kundalini rises, on every center, you start getting the light of that center. At the first center, you get back your innocence. Your eyes become innocent. Your behavior becomes innocent. You are not filled with lust and greed. You don't look at things with lust and greed, but you look at things with innocence, which is a very big thing that people have lost, and that you get back. And such a person develops many qualities. One of them is that such a person is full of fragrance. Such a person has a tremendous gravity. Tremendous gravity. And such a person has tremendous dynamism, and attraction is a bad word, so I don't want to use it, but magnetic. His magnet is awakened within him. This is the center of your magnet, of the earth. Such a person develops a tremendous sense of roads, and sense of direction. You place him anywhere, he will know where to go, like birds. You place birds anywhere, they know which side is north, south, east, west. In the same way, you also develop your lost innocence and your magnet within you, by which you have proper direction. But the highest of all, you develop the proper direction to wisdom, which is a wise thing to do. You just don't do stupid things. You just don't do. Even if you ever try to do it, you will not do it, because you know it is so stupid. Just you don't do it. I mean, it is so simple to be wise than to be stupid. Because if you have to be stupid, you have to go out of the way to be stupid and idiotic. But if you want to be normal and wise, is the easiest thing to do. But what people do is to do things that would make them more and more stupid, nonsensical. Because also some people told me they do it, the reason being they think they have a nuisance value. Like in London now we have one funny stuff going on, they call it what? Punk rock. You see, it's a funny stuff. Now, poor things, they don't know what they are doing. And I think only value of that punk rock system is this, that they try to sort of make a nuisance out of them so that people feel attracted towards them, or sort of a significance out of them. But when you become a realized soul, you realize your significance, because you understand you are part and parcel of the whole, and that your significance is to give realization to others. The highest of highest. That's what you have to do. Now you are a saint. And that's how the whole attitude of cheapishness, of outward shallowness finishes, and you become a serene, dignified personality. This is not possible through any sermon, any lecture. It is only possible when the Kundalini rises, you become like a very dignified child. Very dignified child. I had seen one beautiful painting done of Mother Mary being taught first time. If you see her as a child, she is a very dignified personality. As a child, she is about 10 years of age. I have seen my own grandchildren who are not very old, but extremely dignified. They walk like kings, behave like kings. In every behavior, you find there's such a dignity They'll never do something shallow. They'll never ask for anything. They never weep for anything. They never cry for anything. They are so dignified and they understand it so well what is dignity is. I don't have to tell them because they are born realized. In the same way, you become that. Nobody has to tell you that do this or do that. But you understand that you must have self-respect. This happens to you automatically. This is actualization. Nobody has to tell you that you'll be dignified, you just become. I have seen people who were absolutely absurd. Even from this punk rock we got some people. And they were so changed that people could not recognize them. But one thing bad has happened with this punk rock, that they put some sort of dye in their head, and since then their eyes became very weak. Because these dyes, I think, make the optic lobe covered with some sort of a color, and you can't see properly, and the eyes became very weak. And it took some time for us to remove the effect of those dyes from their head. We go headlong. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong in this world if it is a stupid fool. But for a wise man, there are very many things which are absolutely wrong, and there are very many things which are absolutely correct. So you develop your wisdom by this first sentence.
And speaking. If we're just sitting nicely with our hands out on our lap, keeping our attention just up there on top of our head. And now we've got our musician who's going to play some music for us while we meditate. Hi. Fabulous. When you're ready, just open your eyes. And thank you to our musician for that wonderful didgeridoo music. It really helps with that Kundalini coming up and resonates very much within us. So that was fabulous. So as we've now reached the end of our evening on our talk with on the Muladhara Chakra, as with all our meditations and as with all our clearing sessions, we always start and finish with the tying up of the Kundalini and putting ourselves into Bandhan. So let's do that technique together. And just with your attention, starting at the base of your spine, raising up that Kundalini, wrapping the right hand around the left, looking up and just tying one big knot and repeating that again for a second time. Tilting that head back as you go past the throat area, and this time 2 knots. And we're going to do it for a 3rd time. And 3 knots. Fabulous. Now we've got our hands down, palm upwards onto our lap. And again, we're going to take, go from the left over to the right and put ourselves into Bandhan. That's once. And a 2nd time. I find this very peaceful when I'm doing this. I can really feel those vibrations around me. feeling lovely and cool. And sometimes we just lose count of what we're doing, and that's fine. We can just go until we feel like, yes, that's good. And I'm just finishing on that right hand side. And again, we can just do that little namaste, bowing to that Mother Kundalini within us, to our spirit within us, and know that we've been given that connection by our Kundalini to our spirit, and then to the all-pervading power that we go into when we go into that thoughtless awareness state. So now we're going to hand over to Rachita, and she's going to take us through how to meditate at home, which is really helpful because you've been learning so much here over the last week, and just how to put all of that into practice in a very simple way at home. So thank you very much for joining. It's been fantastic having your company. If you do have to go, there'll be always the information is there for you on our resource pages. So thank you for joining.
Thank you for that, Auntie Debbie. Hope you guys liked that session about the first chakra. So you've just learned how to identify it on your hands. So the first chakra, because unfortunately we don't have 7 fingers on each hand, we have to use pretty much all the aspects of our hand to identify what state we're in. So if you ever feel pressure, pain, any heaviness on the heels of your palm, that's basically your first energy center. And then we'll go on over the next few days to talk about the other ones, which are more easy to identify because they're on your fingertips. But that's just what to keep in mind for the first chakra. Okay, before we wrap up the actual meditation session, and then of course we'll have our Q&A and a bit of storytelling. As you guys know, that's a new component we've added in to share experiences and stories from our experienced practitioners. I'm just going to quickly show you guys a presentation about the sequence of meditation, or how you should be meditating at home. So shouldn't have said presentation. I don't want it to be boring, guys. A fun fact sheet thing. I'm going to make this fun as best as I can. So basically, just to really consolidate, you guys have done so well, like I've said, to stick with us in the week 1 journey, and then we're now in week 2. So you might be wondering that, wow, we are building on so much knowledge every day. We're learning new tips and techniques, affirmations, things like that. So how do we put it all together so that we can reap the most benefit? So this is just a little quick overview of how to meditate at home. Don't feel like you have to memorize it all. We will send it to you in the WhatsApp groups and in emails, so it'll all be there. You guys might be already following this, so this is just a confirmation that, yep, you're on the right track. Or maybe it'll just give a bit more clarity and a bit of an order, how do experienced practitioners meditate, things like that. So step 1, as mentioned before, you have to have a little meditation spot at home. Not have to, it is just super, super encouraged. And we are going to talk about that little point tomorrow a bit more. Now, the aim of every meditation is not to chant affirmations or mantras on hours on end. Shri Mataji herself has clearly said the aim of meditation is to try to get to that thoughtless state and sustain yourself there as long as you can. So even if it's just 1 second or 5 minutes, your aim is to just basically reach that state. And these tools of, foot soaking, ice pack, affirmations, things like that, they're just techniques to try and get your mind cleared out so that you can reach that state easily. So if you probably lived in the Himalayas, you'd already be in that state because you won't have distractions like jobs and kids and things like that. But we're not there. We're in reality. We're living our lives. So we do get busy days. Some days might not be so busy when you're relaxing or you have time off. So your meditations might be a bit more like faster and easier to get into. Some days, when it's really hectic or something emotional has happened, those tools and techniques are basically there to clear out your system of any unnecessary stuff and get you back into that state of balance. So I'm sure you guys are already appreciating how great this techniques are, or Sahaja Yoga is, that now you know that, okay, if I've had a busy day, or no matter what life now hits me with, whether it's a busy day at work, projects due, or things happening in life, you have these techniques to help clear you out, sustain your peace and your joy, and live your life in the best way you can. Because life is not meant to be a punishment. So no more of this stuff that I need to suffer or I need to feel guilty. That stuff is gone. Shri Mataji has said that's not what we're here for. We're here to live and enjoy life. Yes, COVID is around us, but let's see if we can, take it as an opportunity to rebuild ourselves and make ourselves better people as well. So I'm just going to quickly run through a structure for your morning and your evening meditation. All the resources are on our website. So if you need music, talks, demonstrations, things like that, everything is there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly see, what should your morning meditation look like? So your morning meditation, ideally, the best time is 4 to 5 a.m., as I mentioned before. Now, if you're not an early riser like me, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just go with your heart and how you feel. If you need to put an alarm, go for it. If you feel, no, I don't really want to at this stage, that's okay. Just go with your heart that in the morning when you wake up, try and meditate as your first thing, or after you brush your teeth or anything. Basically, I'm saying meditate before you get into your daily activities too much, because your mind starts clicking in that, okay, I need to watch the news, I need to cook brekkie, I need to cook my lunch. So you're already activating yourself. When you meditate in the morning, you kind of cleanse yourself of, anything that's really happened in the night. Maybe you didn't sleep well, maybe you had some dreams, things like that. Or even if you had a pleasant night of sleep, by refreshing yourself in the morning, like taking a bath, you really feel more clearer and more confident during your day as well. So your morning meditation, basically the steps are here, raise your Kundalini, put on a bandhan. That's always step one. And then do your left-right clearing if you feel you need that, to see, okay, do I need to balance out one of my channels a bit more? Now that you're going to learn daily about your chakras, we'll also tell you, when you are checking yourself for left and right, have a bit of a check how your fingers are feeling. Are they trying to tell you a bit of a story that, oh, okay, your third energy center maybe needs a bit of work, or the first energy center, things like that. So you're going to start incorporating that as we move along. In the morning, if you feel you need that candle on your left side, or an ice pack on your liver, if you're getting a bit heated up, or even a foot soak, like you guys remember Uncle Edwin said, he does a foot soak in the morning and the evening. Everyone's different. So you go with your heart. We're not going to give you a strict prescription that you have to do this. This is just a general structure, and you go with your heart and your vibrations on what to do, because we want to empower you to do that. Then you listen to some music if you like. If you find, you can't stop the mental chatter, music's a great way to reduce those. Shri Mataji's talks are also probably the best way. So if you're like meditating and you think, oh gosh, I can't stop the mental chit chat, I don't really want to do any affirmations or anything. If you just find one of Shri Mataji's talks on our website, that just also takes you to a thoughtless state. Because like we said, she's a personality that exudes positivity, and she has all that wisdom. So by listening to her talks, you're not imbibing just the wisdom, but almost you're taking affirmations inside yourself as well. Oh yeah, okay. Today she talked about innocence, right? Yep, wisdom, things like that. So her talks are just brilliant. Even if you listen to it for like 5 minutes. And then, like we said, when you do reach that thoughtless state, just see if you can stay there, for a good couple of seconds to 5 minutes, and just enjoy that state. That's where your real growth happens, and the Kundalini is working through you to reach that optimal state. And remember, you can always check, are you feeling cool or warm vibes, things like that. And then when you feel ready, so whether you meditate for 5 minutes, 10, 15, you raise your Kundalini again, put on your bandhan, and that concludes your meditation, and you're ready to tackle your day. So what to do in the evening then? So your evening meditation, best is, when you come home from work, had a busy day, you can do it then. Or if you feel before going to sleep, you have that little window of time for yourself, you can do it then as well. So what to do in the evening? Again, raise your Kundalini, put on a bandhan. Now do a foot soak. We highly, highly recommend do a foot soak every night before you sleep. All of us pretty much do it, I believe, or I hope, because Shri Mataji has said in many, many talks the importance of a foot soak, that it just really clears and cleanses you out. And it's probably one of the best techniques we have, and it's so easy to do as well. So do your foot soak. Remember, if you're feeling a bit emotional, a bit tired, left, use the warm water. If you're feeling on the right, like, oh gosh, it's been a hectic day, my mind's still not, it's just ticking away, I can't stop it. Use the cooler water. Sometimes the cooler water gives your body a bit of a shock that, oh, it's cold, okay. And you suddenly start to just calm down, and, all the heat goes away. And remember, use table salt. Don't use fancy salts right now, no bath salts, Epsom salts, or oils at this stage, just basic table cooking salt, or Himalayan salt, someone once asked. That's what we should be using. And then again, go through the process, see what you're feeling. Do you want to do a bit of left-right clearing? Observe what's happening on your hands. Put on some music, Shri Mataji's talks. Again, try and go into that state as much as you can. And then put on your bandhan, raise the Kundalini, and go straight to sleep. So don't go back on Facebook, Netflix, or digital technology stuff, because that, triggers your mind again. Just go to sleep if you can. The other last thing we suggest is, given you guys are still so new, but you are absorbing things so quickly, we do recommend, if you can, at least once a week, set aside a day and a time for yourself to do these self-realization steps once a week for at least just the first 3 months. So we're August at the moment, so I'd suggest probably September, October until, because that just really gives you a lot of reassurance and confidence. Those affirmations of, I'm the spirit, I'm not guilty, I forgive. That's the basic of Sahaja Yoga meditation, really. Some days I find that when I'm just so sick of doing affirmations or left, right, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I just go back to the basics of self-realization and go, okay, what's Sahaja Yoga about? Okay, it's about clearing ourselves, reminding ourselves that, I'm the spirit, I'm not these thoughts and emotions, or I'm not guilty, I forgive. And it just really just brings you back to the center, and it just makes you go thoughtless again, because you're just keeping it simple. So yeah, that's all that is, folks. If you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat box and we can get them to you. Like we said, we'll send this to you in the WhatsApp groups and in the emails as well. Tomorrow, we'll briefly talk about creating your little meditation space. So you might remember I put this picture in the WhatsApp groups. So it doesn't have to be anything super fancy. You're not making a temple at home. Just something nice, elegant, pleasing to you. So that's your little spot at home. And we'll talk about more of that tomorrow. And the other things are just reminders, the candle technique. Where do you place the candle? Near your left hand. If you do the ice pack, you pop it on your liver. And as we remember, the foot soak as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this kind of helps you to, it gives you confidence that if you're on the right track, like I said, awesome, keep it up. If you were a bit confused, I hope it gives a bit more clarity, because we have taught you guys a lot. So this wraps up our session for today. Thank you for coming. We'll give about 2 minutes that if you'd like to leave now, you're more than welcome to. Like we said, these sessions are recorded, so if you ever want to just catch up for the little parts you miss, you can always rewatch them later. Like I said, now we'll go into our bit of Q&A and storytelling. So this is your chance now. Put any questions in the chat box. If you'd like to leave, you're welcome to. Thank you for coming. We'll hope to see you tomorrow. And we'll kickstart in about 2 minutes. So we'll just get everyone settling in to see what you'd like to do. Okie doke, so let's get started for our Q&A/storytelling session. I'm your host. I'm still working on a theme song and an opening thing, so that'll come soon, guys. If anyone wants to volunteer to make a theme song, you're more than welcome to. I won't pay anything, I'll just give you good vibes. So anyways, today, guys, we will have, we have Auntie Jenny, Auntie Rita, Uncle Edwin, and a new guest as well for Uncle John Michelle. We can still have Debbie on board as well. So we'll have a few people on board. Let's bring them to center stage. So if we can get Auntie Jenny, Auntie Rita, Uncle John Michelle, Uncle Edwin, if you just want to switch on your cameras, pop yourself off mute. We'll just spotlight you guys as well so that we can see you more up front. Hello everyone. Good to see you all.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, Uncle John Michelle. Bonjour. Okay, we'll just add Uncle Edwin. Give us a moment, guys. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Okay, FYI, guys, I know Zoom can be a bit of a tricky platform sometimes. It can change your views. Handy tip, if you want to see all 6 of us, on the top right, if you're on a PC or a laptop, if you click on View and then click on Speaker, you will see all 6 of us in one window, if that helps you just to visually see who's talking. It's just a little handy tip there. So welcome all. I can see Uncle John Michelle's in a very sunny place in Australia. Must be another city. Or so he's one of our new guests, guys, you may have not seen before. So John Michelle is from Sydney as well. Uncle, how long have you been doing Sahaja Yoga for?
It was first time was in 1985.
1985. Yep.
Yes.
So bit of a while, guys. So as you can see, a lot of our practitioners here have been doing it for almost more than 25 plus years, and they have that wealth of knowledge and experience as well. And Uncle, what do you do as your job? What's your occupation?
I'm an architect.
An architect. So awesome. So I know that Auntie Debbie and Jenny are teachers. Auntie Rita is a pharmacist. Uncle Edwin, you remind me, you do work in is it like payroll management or?
I'm an accountant, a business fixer.
Accountant.
I fix businesses.
That's right. And I'm an accountant too, even though it doesn't really match my personality, but that's okay. That's another story, guys. So, so you can see, actually, that's one thing I wanted to bring to your attention, guys, as an audience. You can all see we're from different walks of life. We haven't ditched the family and gone to the Himalayas to be enlightened gurus. We are all leading normal lives, different occupations. And through that, that's how we still, grow in our journey in Sahaja Yoga as well. Okay, so let's get some questions out on the floor. Okie doke. So, Auntie Rita, Shamim was asking us, what determines the color of chakras and the number of petals? Is there any scientific basis for this?
The color, I think, is, well, as far as I know, the color, because we're doing the 7 colors, doing a rainbow and the Vibgya, that's kind of making it the Sahasra. But also, I think the color, when we talk about colors, it's through meditation that, ages ago, when we talk about sages and the subtle system that have been described in our texts thousands of years ago, that's where it comes from. Science is very new, actually, comparatively, because the subtle system with the 3 channels and the 7 energy centers has been described in texts thousands of years ago. Science only very comparatively recently had discovered that, yes, we've got, our sympathetic right, left side sympathetic nervous system, we've got our parasympathetic nervous system, and the plexus. So the plexus that as science that we see is basically outside our spine. So they are nerve kind of groups. So whereas the chakras are within your cerebrospinal fluid in the spine, and outside physically, what science sees is the plexus. So the number of nerves that are coming out from the plexus is actually the same number of petals that they have talked thousands of years ago of the chakras. So that's the connection. So the chakras, basically become the engines that are then energizing and looking through the plexuses to the corresponding system of our body. So when you're talking about the third energy center, the Nadi, through the plexus, it then looks after your digestive system, your liver, all that, things you will cover during the week. But yes, that is the correlation.
Wonderful. Anyone else want to jump in? Oh, I don't know what just happened there. Okay. Anyone else wanted to jump in to add to that? Or
Yeah, I'll just say a little bit.
little bit, okay.
You don't have to become so analytical about all this, because when you get too analytical, then you're increasing the activity in your brain, which we don't want to do. We want you to feel. We want you to experience. Forget all the textbooks you've read. Forget all the journeys you've gone down. Today is a new day, a new opportunity to turn your life around. Put your attention on that. Put your attention on what you are feeling every time you come to these sessions. And that is where you'll get your growth from, and the joy and the love and everything else. We've been collecting a lot of useless information over the years. And right now, with the internet and 24/7 news, we are going mad. We are going mad because some of us think that we have to answer every message that comes on our phone. No, don't let the technology control you. You control the technology. It's a tool for your use. Don't become a tool of the technology. So if you just put your head into that space and remember that you can control all these things, now that you've got your Kundalini awoken, you have the power to do it. Just remember that. And you'll start having more fun. You'll start enjoying the meditations, and you'll start enjoying your life generally. Thank you very much.
No, that's very well said. Thanks for that, Uncle Edwin. And good thing, I think, just adding about the technology, that we are trained, guys, to be analytical. We have to question everything, even from school. I remember you're always critically analyzing things, analyze this, analyze it. This is what the world is now, guys. So in Sahaja Yoga, we really encourage, it's okay to read stuff. We really encourage, you can read things, learn about the chakras, etc. But really feel it, take this time in Sahaj and these sessions just to unwind, chuck that phone away if you're not using it for Zoom purposes, and just focus on your inner self, which I think we kind of forget nowadays. But I think COVID is forcing us to also do that, look at nature more, maybe look at your kids or pets, things like that. Now, very nice, guys. Thank you. Uncle John Michelle, I'm going to put you on the spot. We have a question here from Margin H. So Margin was asking, how do we clear the Muladhara Chakra? But in particular, is there any way to clear, so if you're feeling it on here, she's asking in particular, do we need to press anything, or what do we do to really clear it out?
All right. So Muladhara Chakra is very easy, and sometimes we find it very difficult, but it's very simple. Muladhara is very simple because it touches our inner being. So we don't have to make it too complicated. There is one thing I've experienced that is really helpful for me, is to use the Mother Earth. For example, when I started Sahaja Yoga, I could not meditate in the beginning because my attention was not stable. I could not focus inside. My whole attention was outside. I could not stop my mind. So it was not easy. But after a few months, I was going to meditation classes every week. And that was the only time I could meditate, actually, with other people. And especially when they were more experienced yogis who were helping me with vibrations. They were helping me to become more centered. And one day, I experienced something very deep about the Muladhara, actually, is that after these 3 months of not being able to meditate at home at all, I was sitting on a chair in the meditation class, and especially one yogi was helping the vibrations in my back. And then I felt my attention went down. It just went down inside me, down myself. And it went very, very deep, very deep, very deep. And at some point, I felt it must have touched the Muladhara, because I felt, actually now I know it is the truth. It just went down, or spontaneously. I didn't think about it, it just went down. And then I found out later that the way for me to come back to that state of innocence and freedom of the mind, simply sitting on the earth, on the grass, putting both my hands on the grass, and asking the Mother Earth, she is alive, she's not just a rock, she's alive, and asking her, please take me in balance, take away my thoughts, and then wait. This was the best method for me to clear the first chakra, is the Mother Earth, honestly. Everything else can help, but this for me was the best.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I have something to add to that too, Rachita.
Go ahead.
When I first started in Sahaja Yoga, I was struggling a bit with anxiety. It wasn't severe, but it was affecting my day-to-day life. So I remember I spoke to the person who was leading the class that I was going to, and I said, I have this anxiety, what can I do about it? And he said to me, all you need to do is go and sit on the Mother Earth, put your hands on the Mother Earth, and ask the Mother Earth to clear you. And I remember I didn't say anything to him, I just thanked him. But I remember thinking, how could that be possible? How could it be possible that I can ask the Mother Earth and the Mother Earth is going to listen to me? How does that work? But then, as the divine works, about a week later, I was at the park with my kids and I started feeling this anxiety again. And it was starting to build. And I remembered the teacher's words, or the person who was taking the class. I remembered his words. So I thought, well, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to go sit on the grass, put my hands on the earth, and ask for the Mother Earth to clear me. So I wasn't even really in a deep meditation. I was thoughtless, but I was aware of what was happening around me. I could see my children. And after a while, the anxiety just left. So I guess all we learn in Sahaja Yoga, that we're told things or we hear things from other practitioners, and all we can do is experience them ourselves, be a scientist, as we've said before. Whatever you hear, take it on board, try it, and see if it works for you. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
That's it. I love that, guys. Yeah, Sahaja Yoga is all about the experiencing. Shri Mataji has said that many times in her lectures, that gone are the theories and the lectures and sermons, whatever. Now it's time to experience it. There's a lot of talk that's happened of trying to feel that inner peace, and now we have that, guys. So wonderful, guys. Auntie Debbie, do you want to add anything to Marjan's query of, do we need to then press anything at all, or what's the ultimate solution then, just for the Muladhara? What would you like to add? Auntie Debbie's like, no. So Uncle Edward's all it out.
Look, I think we just, like we said it during the thing, put your right hand towards the earth, and as Jean-Michel and Jenny have said, like placing both hands and just sitting on the earth. What a wonderful way to just relax, have that connection with the earth. I mean, it's really good for your whole subtle system, really. It really strengthens it and clears it. So, the thing with, we are feeling things on our hands, and this is our diagnostic tool. Doctors have diagnostic tools that they use, the blood pumping machines or blood pressure machines and all of that. But this is our tools, our hands are our tools. So we're learning how to read that. And that's what I was saying last week, that I'd noticed a lot of people are already feeling vibrations on their hands and heaviness and tingling, and which is fabulous for, that was only a couple of days in. So by using it, we're going to feel things on our hands, but that means we then go to the chakra and we clear that chakra. So this is our diagnostic tools, and then we take the action to fix it and to clear it. And just because, you know, we may feel it one day and then we may feel it clear, and then the next day you may feel it back again, and that's with any of the chakras, and that's normal, because sometimes some of this stuff within us, we can clear it for a little bit, and then it will sit there for a while, and we just have to keep working on it and working on it. And that one day you'll reach a point where you look back and you'll think, oh, well, that used to happen and I'm not really feeling that anymore. So this is our diagnostic tools, and then doing the things like sitting on the earth and the foot soak, and that just techniques to help clear it. Yeah.
That's it, guys. Yep. So if you do feel things on your hands, I mean, you can try those acupressure point things, you know, we read about, oh yeah, press here. Like my dad's obsessed with that. Don't tell anyone. He was doing that the other day, trying to get rid of gas in the stomach. Honestly, do a foot soak, people. Don't know how long will those pressing help. But basically those pressing and stuff, it might help you, but ultimately it's just telling you, it's trying to give you a red flag, like, hey, Margin, you know, maybe you need a bit of work on that Muladhara. So like everyone's just said, exact same thing. That, you know, what's the technique for that? Okay, sit on the ground. If it's nighttime, of course, don't sit on the grass late night. But ideally, the Mother Earth is the best solution because it's natural. It absorbs any issues within you as well. And just really connects you and centers you again. And we forget that, guys. I think living in houses and offices all the time, we forget to sometimes connect to nature as well. So
No,
basically,
I think
yeah. Go ahead.
I think because there are many techniques to help the chakras. Obviously, we know many techniques using fire, water, the earth. The thing is, once we have received our self-realization, the main thing we have to achieve is the confidence that we have a connection with this creative power. Until we have this confidence, we are going to do different things and be confused. But once you have the confidence, if you ask the Mother Earth to help you, you will definitely see the results. It applies to many other things because of this connection. So we got to gain the confidence, and sitting on the earth is a very good way of rebalancing ourselves and getting the depth of this confidence. This is the most important for me. Once I got the confidence, means the faith in myself, then many things will resolve.
Love it. Thanks for that. Yes, go ahead.
I agree with you. It is that confidence, and then using it as an experiment. This is where, as Jenny, as Debbie was saying, use it as a scientific experiment. I'm going, and as Jenny did, I'm going to go out, sit on the earth, and do it. See the results, and see what works. And that is your experiment with yourself, the experiment with the truth, with the Kundalini, the vibrations around you, the energy around you. That's it. So and yes, with the confidence and the experiment, you get your results.
And life is enjoyable.
Exactly.
That's it,
the
guys.
Other thing I just thought,
yes, go ahead.
Just add, because you're saying like with of a night time. So if you sit down at a night time to have a meditation and you feel the tingling and that here, it doesn't mean you have to wait till it's daylight to actually clear it. You can do that inside. So you can be sitting in a chair and put both your hands towards the Mother Earth, and you can earth yourself just even inside your house and just ask Mother Earth, because like the vibrations, Mother Earth's vibrations, and that is very strong. That gravity, I guess, is so strong that it pulls even when we're sitting inside our house. So if you're feeling it of a night time, you can still clear that Muladhara. You don't have to say, oh, well, it's night, I'll wait till the morning. just doing that, or sit down on the floor and put both palms, your palms flat on the floor, and again just ask Mother Earth to clear and to strengthen. So you can do it at any stage when you feel it.
Yeah, fantastic. Even in your offices, guys, honestly, wherever you are, if you're ever feeling something, just anywhere, you can always just pray in your heart. If you can't put your hands, touching something, that, okay, Mother, can feel the Muladhara is a bit out. Can you just please clear this out? Things like that. There's, I think, another question about, do we use both hands or one hand on the ground? And Auntie Rita helped answer that. You can put both hands by all means to really center yourself on the earth. But when you really start to study yourself and okay, my left palm's the one that's playing up with the first chakra, then you put the left palm on the earth, or the right. So it's whichever needs that attention, you're putting that to the natural element to say, okay, Mother Earth or Mother Kundalini, please help resolve this issue in that chakra.
Actually,
nice, guys.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
I've got something about the hands that okay, when we learned how to balance using the hands, usually we put the right hand on the earth, the left hand towards Shri Mataji. It feeds our left side and settles our Muladhara chakra. But then after, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I was in India, and I was sitting on the beach and meditating there. And then an Indian yogi came to me and said, we started a discussion, and he said to me, because I had a problem of some kind, and he said to me, why don't you put your left hand on the earth and ask the Mother Earth to establish your Muladhara. So I tried, because it's all about experiment. So I tried with my left hand. And what I found is that the right hand was actually kind of feeding my Muladhara, awakening it, but the left hand on the earth took me very, very deep in silence. So it was a different experiment of using the hands. So we have to experiment.
Wonderful. Yes, we have to experiment, guys. That's it. Don't be afraid of anything. Give it a shot, and everyone will have a different remedy for themselves. Oh, very nice, guys. Okay, Karina's got a really interesting question here. I like this one. I think I'm going to try and get everyone's story on this. So this will kind of go into our storytelling. But let's start with Uncle Edwin. Uncle Edwin, was there a particular point in your full-time career or job that made you realize you were onto something incredible with Sahaja Yoga meditation and wanted to pursue it further?
Not really, because before Sahaja Yoga, I was your typical male trying to climb the corporate ladder, very right-sided, very dynamic, worked long hours, ran on the beach for 7 kilometers a day to stay fit, and all those external things. And then I retired very early. The only decision I used to make every day, I lived on a resort on the beach, and the only decision I had to make every day was what I was going to eat. I was the model citizen and the envy of all my friends and colleagues because I didn't have to work hard. But here's the kicker. Achieved all this, now what? What's next? It's like you've got everything, but you've got nothing. If you know what I mean. So what I'm saying to you is, and Shri Mataji says this all the time, material things will never satisfy you because it doesn't give you the ultimate satisfaction and joy in your spirit. So that, and the other expression that Shri Mataji uses, which is very appropriate in my case, she says an idle brain is a devil's workshop. It's true. I was a master gambler. I used to play blackjack like an ace because I spent so many hours in the casino. Now, I don't care about it. I can walk in the casino. I don't have any urges and cravings of that stuff because it's like she says, when you see the light, when you are in the light and you can see the darkness, you can see where you're going. What's there to tell? Because all these things are just a means to an end, but they don't give you the ultimate joy. Okay, so career-wise, right now, I still work. But when I go into a meeting where there are people that have meetings for the sake of meetings and talk fests and just waste time because they have to have a meeting on the agenda, then I sit down there and I just zone out, put my attention on my Sahasrara and just enjoy a meditation while the noise is going on. When I hear my name being called, I come back into the attention and say what I need to say. But it comes with a lot of work and a lot of patience. So the early days, I struggled a lot. So you have to, at this early stage, if you're a new person, a new seeker, forget about everything that you've learned. What you need to do is create new memories, create your memories of this journey from here on, and try to offload a lot of the rubbish that you collected, because that's exactly what it is. And everything will come down to what you can feel. If you can feel it, if you can feel the coolness on your hand, that is your certificate. So if somebody is telling you a story in a meeting at work about how great they are and how they fixed all these things up, and you're not feeling any coolness about it, it's a lot of rubbish. Or they borrowed it from someone else and trying to claim it. So that's how you can tell the lies from the truth. You become sensitive to it, but it doesn't happen overnight. Don't kid yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. You have got to feel it in your heart, be sincere to yourself, be patient with yourself, clear out all your catches with all the techniques we've given you, and experiment with yourself. It will get better every day. Thank you for that.
That's great. That's great. And that's a little thing I'll just add, guys. You know, this thing we're saying about feeling coolness and warmth towards not just yourself, but other people, other things around you. We'll also build on that after probably the chakra series, that this mechanism within you is not just for you, that, okay, I'm feeling today cool and warm. You start to pick up the vibes of people. You know, you do hear things when you meet someone, you're like, I didn't like that person. I didn't get good vibes, or I just don't have a good gut feeling about this. That's all your internal system working already. You have the system within you, and it's only in Sahaja you really build on it. So like Uncle Edwin said, you know, you have a new perspective now. When you go to work and you meet someone who is a bit show-offy or whatnot, your vibrations and your gut feeling will tell you, is this person genuine or not? And that's when you start to enjoy the drama of life, that you just smile, just witness, you know, keep your attention on the top. Like you said, you know, meetings, people might be just going a bit nuts. Just witness the drama. That's what life is. So really well, great point about that. What about Auntie Rita? What point in time of your life or career you knew that, okay, I'm onto something great with Sahaja Yoga?
Mine was much before the career stage.
That's okay.
Lucky.
Like I said, pardon?
I say
And
you
he said
were
lucky.
very lucky.
Everyone's got their own time. It's okay. I mean, my parents keep saying to me, oh, you're so lucky you had it when you were a kid. And I'm like, I have no idea what I was doing as a kid, so it's okay.
No,
sorry, Auntie Rita.
No, I think, because we're talking about the Muladhara, I just wanted to share, because I was sharing the other day how I got my realization. And, you know, being a kid, I was just enjoying, like parents would go for meditation and would sit there for a few minutes and go off and, you know, play with the other kids and things like that. But I think a few months in, or I can't really remember the timeline, but I started getting this shooting pain. So down something that, as the doctor said, to do with the coccyx nerves down at the base of the spine. So, you know, like I'd sit, and if I would suddenly stand up, I'd have this absolutely shooting pain that I could not get up, and I had to get up really slowly, and literally then kind of had to get, go and get an injection every week. So this went on for months and stuff like that, which wasn't very pleasant as a, 13, 14-year-old. And then my parents had gone for the first time, because till then, we had been introduced to Sahaja, and as we are doing with everyone here, there's a photo, have a candle, do your meditations and stuff. So hadn't seen Shri Mataji, had, you know, or any of that. And my parents went to a workshop that she was having, a program she was having. And my mum mentioned that, you know, I was having this problem. And she then recommended to do a warm water foot soak every day, to, you know, the Ganesha Tarvashish, which is a praise of the energy of the Muladhara, and to listen to do. So, you know, I was kind of sitting and learning that, but and then some exercise for the base, for the Muladhara. So, you know, yeah, well, yes, Shri Mataji has said it, and it will work. Of course, you know, you were sitting, meditating, feeling vibrations and stuff. So then from then on, I kind of regularly started doing that. So every day I would sit for, you know, do my foot soak every day. And literally within 2 weeks, I was completely gone. Like the doctors had no explanation for it. There was no need for further treatments, no injections or anything, nothing at all. So, you know, as I think, I'm not sure if it was Debbie or someone saying a few days ago, that is, you know, the main thing. Yes, the spiritual, you know, that seeking was there. I want to know myself, and I want to know that. And doing that regularly, and as your Kundalini is strengthening, and as your Kundalini awakens and this vibrations, getting those energy centers into balance, the byproduct is, you know, that physical, mental, emotional well-being and that balance that comes up. So we kind of start, you know, that spiritual journey is the main goal. Everything else just falls into place and kind of happens. So for me, you know, my choosing my career path, as in, you know, like I did my master's in organic chemistry. It was just that knowing, yep, that's what I, you know, that's what it is. That's what felt right. Did my master's application, you know, yeah, of course you're going to get it. And then my friend comes and says, so which other uni did you apply to? And I'm going, what do you mean? What do you mean which uni? She goes, you've applied to the best uni for the toughest subject and you haven't applied anywhere else. And I'm going, well, I don't know, but yes, it will work out, because that's how that's kind of that confidence you get of knowing, yes, vibrationally this is what it feels right, I did, and yes, I did get in, and all that kind of stuff. So that's, you know, yeah, you and as you were saying, Rachita, you use it in your day-to-day life. You use it with where you're doing the decisions you're making, the, you know, people you're meeting with, food you're eating, or, you know, all those sorts of stuff. It's very exciting. Yes, very much so. Anyway, that's
fantastic. I love it. Yeah, it's just tying in, guys. We're now introducing this concept, guys, that Sahaja Yoga is not just your 10 minutes morning and evening meditation you keep to yourself. You're spreading the vibes, people. You're getting in tune with the environment around you. Your intuition starts clearing out, so you start to trust yourself more, what's right and wrong. And just like you added, it starts to guide you in your life. Maybe you're not sure what to do next in life. Did you want to change your job? Did you want to study something next? Your intuition in Saj will also guide you, and the coolness and warmth will also tell you that, you know, maybe you'll be like, should I change jobs now to this new company? And if you feel good, you feel cool, tick, that's a sign. If you feel warm or your gut feeling's like, nah, hold off, that's when you go, okay, hang on, listen to yourself, not the mind, but your heart, they say, or your gut feeling. Love it. There's another thing, guys, on that note. I remember Shri Mataji once said that, you know, sometimes you have these imbalances, guys, and a lot of you might tell us that we've heard, you know, people used to have illnesses or issues where they'd go to the doctors, get all the tests done, and they could not detect or find anything, yet they were still suffering from something. And it's usually that subtle system that something's not right there, which of course doctors are not going to pick up in an MRI or a CT scan or a blood test. So it's really quite remarkable that, sometimes it's within and not really on the exterior physical part. What about Auntie Debbie? What was your, I guess, turning point that you know that you're not going to let go of Sahaja Yoga?
That's a very good question. So
we're all thoughtless.
I guess there's many, for me, there's many aspects really, because of my background and where I was before I came to Sahaj. So if we're talking personal or professional here. So
Both here, up to you.
on a, I guess on a personal level, for me, before coming to Sahaj, things were very upside down, I guess, in my life, you know, really lacking direction. Like always had wanted to be a teacher, but never really had the courage to do it. And I tried it and I couldn't commit, didn't have the discipline, I guess, to commit. And well, really, I guess it's like having that confidence to really make that commitment. And I'm talking like late 20s, you know, sort of really lacking and trying to find my way. And then once I got my realization, and it, oops, I just lost my hair thing. Hold on a second. Once I got my self-realization and I grew in confidence with my with that self-realization and grew with the meditation, it became very obvious to me that, yeah, teaching was the thing to do. And I remember I was around at Pam and Albert's place, and they, and I remember speaking to Pam, who was, they were quite established yogis. And I remember saying to them, oh, you know, like, I'm thinking of teaching, you know, what do you think? And I remember them putting their hands out and actually saying, oh, well, that's really cool for you to do. And I said, oh, okay. And then I just went ahead and started, enrolled and did it. And every time, because it took me quite a bit of time to actually finish it because I married and then I had 3 kids. But every time I thought about it, I always went back to that point where it really felt cool to do it. And that's what sort of got me through each time, because, and it was funny because once I made that decision, it was like all the obstacles that you might find of enrolling and getting into uni were absolutely, it was like watching dominoes just fall over, you know, all these obstacles lined up like dominoes. And once I made a phone call and once I did the paperwork, it was just like bang, 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 and they were all removed. And it was just really easy to do it and to do it. I mean, the study itself was still hard, you know, but the meditation helped me a lot with doing that. So I guess, yeah, it was all those little things. And that's why it's sort of hard to sort of just say this, but I guess it was that one of those, that was part of really of working out that, yeah, Sahaj was a very positive thing to do and how it helped me with my career and my personal life as well.
Wow, I'm seeing a theme here, guys. It's like life decisions and trusting yourself and the vibration. So this is really great. Nice, nice. Auntie Jenny, what about you? What was your turning point?
Yeah, I don't think I had just one turning point. I think it was a very gradual process where I very slowly noticed the change in me. And I think, again, one of the greatest changes in me was building that confidence, like Debbie was saying, because I started Sahaja Yoga before I became a teacher. And I really wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought maybe I would be a teacher's aide. But then it came into my attention to do teaching. And without Sahaja Yoga, I would have never had the confidence to become a teacher. Without Sahaja Yoga, I wouldn't have had the confidence to be talking here now. So it really is life-changing. You don't actually know how it's going to change your life. Your Kundalini knows what you need the most, more than what you know. So the Kundalini will guide you on your path. But at the same time, as I became a teacher, Sahaja Yoga always showed me that balance is very important. So I was never very career driven because my career really was being a Sahaja Yogi.
It was always, that is the most important part of my life. And everything else fits around it. Because when you practice Sahaja Yoga, your whole life flows.
Nice. Wow. Uncle John Michelle? Yes, go. Your turn. Yeah.
I really like what you said. When you touch your depth in Sahaja Yoga, your life flows, and this is exactly the most important. I think it's that's what we are all looking for. For me, it was very interesting because I was a student in architecture at the uni, but I could not create. I had the desire to create things. I had plenty of ideas, but I could not manifest it. It was crazy. I had a blank page, and I could not put on paper anything I wanted to. It was really strange, and I was about to give up on my studies. Then I came to Sahaja Yoga, and somehow I heard Shri Mataji saying to us, you got to have a degree because later on you will need it in your life. So I decided not to quit. And then over the few months following this, one day I had a meditation at home with a yogi. It was probably 6 months after my self-realization. And I just felt something changed in me. And I understood later it was my second chakra that opened. And what happened after that, it was really amazing. When my second chakra, which is linked to the creativity, opened, I had ideas on everything. I had this creativity was like a spring. I started writing poetry. I was able to design anything I wanted to. I was sensitive to music more than before. And it was crazy. It's like a tap that was open. I couldn't stop it.
Wow.
So then I went back onto my studies, and I finished at the end of this year. I was the 6th on 200 students, which was incredible because before that was not the case. So that was a very important step for me on the career path, because I could have stopped everything and did something different, and I didn't. So that was very
And thank
good.
God she didn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, but the most important, that's what Jenny said, is really that this is the key of everything. Because once you have the flow that's happening in your life, whether you are an architect, an accountant, or anything, it doesn't really matter, because you find the joy and the balance where you are. And ultimately, what keeps you in the joy every time, this is what counts. This is what takes you closer to this absolute dimension that we are looking for.
Yeah. Wow. Well said, guys. That's just amazing. I think just hearing everyone's background, occupation, and I hope it relates to our audience, actually, guys, that you're liking these stories, that everyone's gone through their ups and downs and struggles, and how Sahaja Yoga has really helped them. So that's just really wonderful to hear. I think we probably are now reducing in questions, so we might have time for maybe 1 or 2 stories. I'll just quickly address publicly. Suki had a question about whether you can put both of your hands on the Himalayan salt lamp. Honestly speaking, Auntie Rita has answered this in the chat box, that the salt lamp is a bit of a limited source. So Auntie Rita, did you want to just elaborate that for others who may have missed that question in the chat box and the answer?
Well, we're talking about, yes, so when you're talking about salt, we are using the earth as a salt in our foot soak and stuff. But same as we said for the foot soak, you know, you have that little bit of water that we're vibrating, that then is helping to draw energy. But we always say you don't foot soak for more than 10 or 15 minutes, because it's a very limited source of energy, or the water that is there. It's not like a river that's flowing, or the sea. So it only works. So okay, so say for example, the salt lamp you're using is there. So it's absorbing the negative energy, and then what? Where is it going to go? So having that earth as a living energy, as a continuous flowing energy to absorb is what works. Yeah. So, and even sitting, just walking. I mean, I used to love that, just walking on the lawn barefoot or walking on the earth barefoot, because you're just grounded, connected. That is fantastic. So if you can do that, it's again any way that we can have that connection and grounding to the earth, and utilizing that the vibrations and to work, and the energy
Awesome.
to flow.
Thank you for that. Great. Thanks for that. I just thought I'd put that out there, guys, in case anyone missed it. Okay, I'm just actually mindful of time. Plus, it is a weekday, so hopefully no one's dozing off, all those countries who are in the evening or night zone. So what we might do is, I think we've covered a bit of storytelling in answering your queries. So fantastic questions again, guys. Remember, there's no right or wrong. There's no dumb question. I'm sure if you're thinking of it, there's someone else also thinking of it, like we usually say. So hats off again for putting it out in the chat box. Hope you loved today's panel and the stories as well. I think what we're going to do is, Uncle John Michelle, would you like to lead a small wrap-up meditation for about 5 minutes or so? Would you like to do that?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so what we'll do is, guys, that's the Q&A session team out. We'll hand it over to Uncle John Michelle, and we'll just do a little wrap-up meditation just to bring it back up here, and that way you can continue your day in that joy of bliss or have a lovely night's sleep. Over to you, Uncle.
All right. So what we do now is we're going to take inside whatever we discussed and try to not think about it, but just take it inside. So we put our attention inside ourselves, in our heart. We can place our right hand on the heart, and we can close our eyes. And then we ask inside ourselves, Mother, please take my attention in my heart. Let me feel my heart, my spirit. Then we move our hand up to the top of the head, and we ask again, Mother, we can ask Mother Kundalini, please take my attention in my heart. Let me see, let me feel my spirit. Mother, please let me feel my spirit. Then we lift our right hand above the head a few centimeters. And we keep our attention above, but at the same time inside. Inside and above. Then we take our right hand down on the lap, palms open, the feet on the soil, on the ground, and we remember our connection with the Mother Earth. So we have the attention in the heart, feeling the connection with the Mother Earth. And then we let our attention inside go deeper, deeper to our roots. We don't have to do anything, no effort. We just let go of everything. And we say, I am the spirit. I am the spirit. Nothing but the spirit. I am the spirit. Then we can open our eyes and we can look at Shri Mataji's dot on the forehead, and just it's a time for us to see where we are. If we have any thoughts, if we are silent, and if we feel silent, we keep our attention inside and enjoy the silence. And then to finish off, we can raise the Kundalini together. So we lift our left hand and turn with the right hand upwards. And we tie one knot with the second time. And we tie two knots. Do a third time. And we tie three knots. Then we do the protection, starting from the left, over to the right, and come back. And we do this 7 times. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Uncle John Michelle. I think that was really wonderful, guys. So on that note, maintain that bliss and silence within you. Join us tomorrow for learning about the second energy center, which is below our belly button, called the Swadhisthana. And as our Uncle John Michelle said, that's to do with creativity. And today we learned about the first chakra, which was about innocence. So thank you all for coming. Have a good night. Remember, all the resources are on our website if you need to touch base. But enjoy your day or your night ahead. We will see you tomorrow. See you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.